Alright, I'm working from a backlog here, so let's go. Stage 10, first real uphill finish of the race, and holy cow, clear skies, but don't get used to it. Big breakaway, 17 riders or so, and Astana leading the peloton, leading that is, until the day's first big climb when Sky took over and Nibali got a mechanical. The GC leader recovered, but reigning champ rider Hessedal found himself off the pace a few kilometers later and would not rejoin. Sky gobbled up the break on the final climb, and inside a tunnel at 8k to go launched Rigoberto Urán, whom no one felt like chasing. It got a bit crowded behind the Colombian, with fans running out of room and a mechanical almost felling the group, but finally an attack by Domenico Pozzovivo began shedding dead wood, including Brad Wiggins, which probably wasn't Sky's plan at the beginning of the day. Nibali and Evans brought back Pozzovivo just inside of 2k to go, Betancourt attacked, Nibali dropped his chain, fixed it, and recovered to continue the pursuit. Urán took the stage, Betancourt second with the Maglia Rosa and Evans just 30 seconds back. Wiggins lost over a minute, putting him into 4th overall, a second behind his alleged lieutenant, Urán. Stage 11, another sunny day and another big fugitive group, and with Danilo De Luca and Jaroslav Popovic in the mix, I do not use that word accidentally. Over the top of the Cat 2 Sella Chiampigiotto, Argos Shimano's Patrick Gretsch tried to pull a Belkov, but despite sick tuck skills, he had no pendulous energy bar, and as soon as Garmin Sharp's Runas Navarduskas and BMC's Daniel Oss made the bridge, he appeared to be in difficulty. The stage finished on a rather subtle Cat 2 climb, and Gretsch unhitched as soon as the road went up. While Oss and Navarduskas worked together well, the Lithuanian appeared to have been doing more of the work, and after Oss needed a few seconds to pull back his probing attacks, Navarduskas put in the decisive acceleration as Oss was trying to rehydrate, and came away with the stage win. Stage 12 could have been a nice straightforward group sprint, but ow. Yeah, that sums it up nicely. The final 3K were GC neutralized, but that was still about 27 kilometers too few for Bradley Wiggins, who once again lost touch on a descent. With all the sprinters and GC riders in the lead group, it was a gap that would not be closed. Despite a late catch of the day's break at 3 kilometers and a split inside the final K, Gert Stegman's enough-said lead-out made Mark Cavendish's 100th pro win a perfunctory affair, though the battle for second, Sasha Modolo and Nasser Bouhanni at a water-slicked road crossing, proved a terrifying little sideshow. Wiggins' group finished 3.5 minutes later, a deficit he didn't bother trying to recover. He and rider Hessedal abandoned the race the next day. You know, things don't always go so easy for Cav, like when there's 4k to go, a rider up the road, and no one on your team anywhere. Traditionally, when a squad is leading out like Cannondale is here, you fight for the wheel of their sprinter, but Cav seems almost unconcerned. Through this series of bumps and swerves, the one consistent thing seems to be that he never pedals with his nose in the wind, even letting himself lose some space after a failed attempt to grab Daniele Bonatti's wheel. It seems to be less about position and more about saving energy for that one big jump, and even then Cav doesn't go until Manuel Belletti ahead of him starts accelerating. Elia Viviani basically sinks himself by leaving a huge gap to his lead-out man, and while Giacomo Nizzolo made this one interesting, Cav is just going too fast by the time he hits the front. Ah, the riders hate it and the fans need booze, but a nice foggy day sure does make my life easy. Nibali, in the race lead and having distanced Evans and Urán by about 30 seconds, half-wheels the crap out of Mauro Sant'Ambrogio, takes the hard steep line through a hairpin to pull alongside, gives a nod as Sant'Ambrogio looks back, and then soft pedals as the Vini Fantini rider takes the win. Part of being race leader is gifting a stage now and then, but in the future, Nibs might want to work on making it look a little better than that. Finally, something of a weather mulligan. 4.2k and 300 meters elevation clipped off the final climb and a classic piano roadblock up the first descent. Around 2k from the top, riders started to hit out. Someone had to get those mountain points after all, and that someone was KOM leader Stefano Perazzi. Oh man, look at those clouds. The KOM escapees elected to stay clear, a savvy move given that the hardest racing in the bunch was coming from the team cars. Peter Wiening and Giovanni Visconti tested the group on some descents, but the selection wouldn't come until 24k to go, when Visconti just kinda rolled away up the Col de Telegraph. The field behind showed some signs of life. Nibali tested an attack, and Betancourt and Rafael Michaels' battle for the young rider GC lead spurred some action, but Visconti managed to hold on for the stage win, while the GC picture, and Nibali's just slightly comfortable lead, remained unchanged. I'm Cosmo Catalano, and that's how stages 10 through 15 were won.
È un mondo difficile, e vita intensa. Felicità a momenti, e futuro incerto. Il fuoco e l'acqua, concerto e calma, sonata di vento. È nostra piccola vita, è nostro grande cuore.